There we go. Anyway, Rika. So you see this really nice church, right? It's not broken down or anything. It doesn't look nearly as bad as the one in Barovia did. Maybe at best the paint on the walls is a little worn down, but other than that, it's just some minor stuff. Otherwise, it's, it really looks rather nice. You see some, there's some little walls around on the sides. You could easily ward over them. They're just there for decoration mostly. And behind that, you can see also a quaint little graveyard as well, where you also see a guy with a shovel currently working. Other than that, the church doors are open. And how would you like to proceed?
Well, I suppose that I'm just going in with Irene.
All right. What about children?
I mean, I was going to pawn the children off on the church.
Hey, where are you going? Anna goes. She's sort of bouncing in the cart.
I can't just pawn on.
Do not give away our daughter. What the hell?
I can't do that. They should probably come with. Anna, we're going to the church. Come on.
All right. She jumps off the cart and sort of, charges to you. Hans and Grace will also walk off with much less enthusiasm, continuing to be the, how they are. And you enter the church. The doors are already open. You are going into the church, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as you enter the church, the doors are wide open. They're big wooden doors. They look sturdy and somewhat heavy, and they look actually quite nice. And as you go in immediately, due to your, subclass, you feel a connection here. This is sacred ground, you notice immediately. Like, yes, this is a holy place. Unlike that other church where you were at, where, it is a church, this church is actually blessed, for the lack of a better term. It is sacred. This is holy grounds. You feel it.
So this is serious church shit.
This is serious church shit. Like, undead would not be able to do much here. So, if an undead invasion happens, this is the place to hide into. And, you look right, you look left. There's beautiful glass-stained windows with all sorts of colors depicting things in them. Different things that you're not completely sure about what they are. You think actually in one of them you spot what you guess is... what was the god that you're thinking about? It's been so long. Sir. The woman with the things. And
the antlers.
Exactly. And you see many more that you don't immediately recognize. You also see on one of the stained glass windows another figure you do recognize, which seems to be a much younger Strat von Zarovic. And basically this appears to be just like all sorts of stuff, like religious history. Like, this is a building that has been here for a while. And as you go, you also look around, there's wooden benches, as it's a church, right? You imagine your standard church, pillars, wonderful architecture. And there's a few people, actually sitting in the benches. Not a lot, though. It seems to be mostly a quiet day today. There's a few people there in the silent prayers. There doesn't seem to be any actual ceremony happening right now. But you do actually spot what you conceive to be a priest talking with an elderly woman. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to wait my turn, of course, making sure that the children behave.
Mm-hmm. Anna is just like mouth agape, just looking at all the pretty glass windows.
Have we seen Strahd besides the statue in the death house?
As I said, he is on the coins. He is... No.
Well, he's not on the coins we got from home.
No, none of those. The local currency.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Anna is just really looking at the glass. Sometimes sort of goes like, who's that? Who's that?
Okay, is she asking me or Irene?
She's asking you.
I'm not entirely familiar with
She points at
with the
Strahd from
history of
Zerbervik. Who's
Barovia.
that?
Uh,
He looks cool. He has a cape.
is she pointing to young Strahd?
Yeah.
That is a young depiction of the man in the castle.
Okay. How loud do you say that?
Not very loud. I don't mention him by name,
Yeah, okay.
but I kind of have to say, in context.
The church is a quite quiet place, so, depending on how loud you speak, your words will echo a little. You see,
I'm just quietly.
You see one person in a nearby bench sort of looking at you, but, not particularly with anything, just looking at you for a moment and minding their own business again. This goes on for a bit, and you wait there. Seeing as we have those two back, let's go quickly over to them before we see what we can do with you and the priest. Leah, Desper.
Aye, Captain.
Aye. So, you jumped off the cart and you're now in a street. One of the side streets. You have a general perception of where the Silver-Hilled Inn is. And are you going to just walk there? What are you going to do in the meanwhile there?
In the meanwhile, Septimus is going to put on his hoodie and he's kind of going to keep his eyes level. He's not going to be showing his face too much. He's going to do his best to conceal some of his features. But he's watching his surroundings just in case he spots a familiar face or whatever. Trying to blend in, basically.
Okay. So you're kind of hiding your face just a little bit, basically.
Kind of doing, this, for lack of a better word.
Zaban also has the hood up, but that's about it. Other than that, he on the other hand, he's like on the lookout for what are the people doing.
Speaking of
they seem to be living.
Other people, as you're looking around, you look in front of you, basically, you're walking down this rather normal-looking street. And in front of you, here at the crossing, right? Hang on, let me just show that. Here's the crossing, right? And you're around here. As you walk further, you see a bunch of people coming from this way, sort of hurriedly going inside buildings. Looking a little panicked. They're not screaming, they're not actively running, but it seems quite obvious that they're hastily walking away from this direction.
From over here.
That is very general. You need to use Alt to be more specific. Use the arrow key. Okay. You're about here. Down here.
Okay.
And they're running away from...
No. The people... Yeah, exactly. Go like this. They come from this direction and go like this. Some go over here, some go over here, but the main point is they go away from this direction rather hurriedly, with hurried steps.
Okay. Can I hear anything coming from the direction?
Roll me a perception roll.
Can I roll or help or...
If you want to, you can give advantage, or you can roll yourself. It is however you would like. For the sake of it, I'll just say both of you make a normal roll because that's more fun. Desper, you want to also do one?
It's not a good day for my rolls.
It's just going to take a while, apparently.
Right, okay. So, in any case, 7.
Almost an 18.
You try to, listen for anything, but actually it's not... You keep walking in that direction, I assume, or do you stop?
Not stop, but
slow down.
Slow down first of all, and then get closer to... I'm going to get closer to a building.
Well, as you try to listen for it and, go a little bit more to the right side, closer to the buildings, to make sure you're not standing in the middle if, a cart were to come and, suddenly come down this rail or something.
Yeah, Saban is actually looking for some side alley to step into and look.
Actually, yeah.
Whatever the sound is.
There is a side alley, actually. Would you like to step in?
Yes.
Yeah, if I can see the street from there.
Okay, both of you would like to step in. Are you actively hiding or are you just...
Yeah, actively hiding.
Okay. Both of you roll me stealth rolls in that case. All right, 22, 6.
I'm
Very
visible.
consistent.
Do not worry, because the way I do stealth rolls, I sort of take the average, so it's not like the lowest you roll is the one that counts.
Yeah, so technically 14 for both of us.
Yeah, so, you know, it is average.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you have some sort of teamwork, you know. Septimus is helping you, trying to hide this Goliath. So as Septimus is pulling you into the side alley, you catch a glimpse as you see a couple of guards in, you know, not uniform, but rather armor, marching down the street, coming into the street that you're currently, you know, hiding in an alleyway in. What would you like to do?
Keep quiet.
Yeah. And
Okay, keep
wait for
quiet
them
and
to-
wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they seem to be looking like at side alleys, or
They're
are they
still
just
too far away
marching
to
through?
tell. Right now, they just seem to be moving, but you've already managed to, you know, get that they're moving down into your direction.
All right.
Into our
But they're
alley?
moving at a consistent rate.
Not your
instead of
alley, but
slowing
your
down.
main street.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they are moving like at a consistent rate.
Yes, at a consistent rate. They
Okay,
don't
so they're not
appear-
stopping and moving on and stopping.
No,
and
nothing like
moving
that.
on.
They
Yeah.
seem to be moving at a rather consistent rate. What are you doing in the alley? Are you just are you focusing on hiding, staying quiet, waiting till it's over, or are you peeking out to see what's going on?
Can I try peeking? You know what? No, I don't need to peek. The armor probably makes so much noise that I can make out where
Oh yeah,
exactly
you can at all times make out their position.
I am
that is
not
no
peeking then.
There's also obviously more than just two there. Like you can also tell that by the amount of armor that you hear and footsteps. Like it's almost like a march.
Nesbon is gonna get a bit deeper into the side alley.
All right, so focus on
Just
hiding.
gonna
then.
wait for them. Basically, I'm gonna wait to see how many pass the side alley.
All right. As you do, you know, the marching continues at a very, very consistent rate. Like it is, you know, these people seem to be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Disciplined, organized. And as they continue moving down the thing, one of you roll me a d20 for luck.
Yeah, I can take the blame.
All right.
Okay.
You actually see. Okay. You
It's
actually
gonna
see
in a
them
row that I have bad roll luck.
as you're hiding in this alleyway. You actually see that opposed to you, there's another alleyway that looks similarly decrepit than the one you're in, and you notice that they are moving towards that alleyway. And at this point, you actually get a look at them. At the same time, you realize you are now, if they at any point while you're in that alleyway look backwards, they are going to see you. So your cover isn't great right now. But right now, they're moving forward and they're moving into that alleyway. You can see deeper down into that alleyway, there's a few more decrepit houses than on the main streets, than the main ones that are visible. And as you see the people moving, you see around 4 people in armor, guards, as the ones you've already seen. All of them are wearing helmets, by the way. The ones at the checkpoint where you were, they weren't wearing helmets because they were actually speaking to you. But these are all wearing helmets. They're all helmeted. And you see one person that is very clearly that stands out, let's say. Also wearing armor, but also wearing armor, except they're not wearing any armor on their right arm. Their right arm is completely exposed. However, their right arm also seems to be red. Red, extremely muscular, and with claws on the hands. Does any of you want to roll any either religion or arcana? If you want to know more about that, or
I would like to.
okay, give me religion or arcana, whatever you would prefer. Although you know the DCs are different, both are an option though.
I would like to go with Arcana.
Yeah, Saban would more be religious.
Go
Or
on.
like religion would be the thing he knows more about.
Okay. Saban, as you look at that, it doesn't take a lot. You've been in this one for a long. That's a demon-looking arm. If only Rico was here. That is a demonic-looking arm. That is a straight-up demonic. So that is something to not be messed with. And what you also quickly do realize is that this person seems to be leading the other 4 men. Clearly the one, in head and leading them down the alleyway. Septimus. What you realize is...
It's red?
Yes, it is red. You realize that... Okay, actually, hang on. No, this is one of such... I can work with this, actually.
It's a 4. What could you possibly
I'm going
do
to
with
private
4?
message you this because this is interesting. You failed so bad that it's actually a success.
No. Okay.
Yeah, Saban is gonna very quietly whisper out, "That's demonic." And then he tries to pull Septimus. Is it like you can walk through the side alley, or does it end in a dead end?
No, you can keep moving down this side alley. Like there is, at least you're not completely certain, but it looks like it is going to keep going. You would have, there's no way of knowing for sure other than going down it.
Alright. Well, I'll start going down it and look for the other side alleys within the side alley.
Alright. So, are you both moving down the side alleyway then?
I'm following Saban, yes.
Okay. Are you doing this stealthily or...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of you give me new stealth rolls.
But why?
Why? Alright. You feel like you're doing it rather well. Behind you, as you are moving away, you can hear how a loud crash and then shouting. Halt! In the name of the gods and the Burgomaster Valakovic. You keep going.
Yeah, Saban basically to remain quiet and to listen in. He's kind of leaning a bit like thing behind, letting Septimus go ahead.
You do realize that the shout was not aimed at your direction, so you assume they are busy with something.
I know.
else.
I'm just trying to listen in if there's any more shouting and what exactly that would be.
I want to listen in too.
There is more shouting, but eventually it is sort of blurred out by the sounds of battle or a scuffle. So you keep going, and eventually you do actually find a way that leads to this end of the street, seemingly having gotten away. All right, we're gonna go back to Rika then. Hopefully the switcheroo is not gonna be too taxing to you guys. You decide to split up. Rika! I'm gonna need you to unmute yourself. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
So, it appears that, the priest seems to have finished his business with the woman. She thanks him, gives a prayer. She gets one of those things that you can eat. And, she leaves. It's a rather elderly woman, it looks quite kindly, sort of like a grandmother would. And the priest, looks at you and realizes that you look at him and realizes you want something from him, so he begs you closer. How can I help you, my child?
Well, Father, is that... I'm sorry, I have not experienced the...
Do not worry. Do not worry. Do not stress yourself over such things. Father will do.
Okay. Well, Father, my friend here. Well, first, I
Is
would.
this a complex matter? Do you require privacy?
The question said, well, I suppose that it would. Well, it's not necessarily a private matter.
Very well. Do you want to take a seat next to me on the bench?
Of course, I will sit down next to him. So, Father, I would like to ask if, as my friend is interested in it, if clerics and paladins are trained, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm afraid we're not that kind of place. There hasn't been clerics here for a long while. Actually, I would like to take over here myself, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
thanks for your help, but I feel like I should probably do this part one myself.
Probably.
Yeah. Sorry, Father, but I've been going for a while, and I wanted to know if perhaps I could work in this church as a nun of some sort, or perhaps help out with daily tasks if you are in any need of having anyone like that around. I would be very willing to learn any things that are of religious matter and helping. If there's any kind of magical stuff that you have, wait, hang on, Velaki, I forgot Magicus. Never mind that part. But yeah, if you have any need for anything like that, I would love having this sort of place. I see. Is that the matter that you wanted to ask about as well, or is it something else?
No, I did not intend to work for the church, though I am. I'm divinely inclined.
Oh, yes, I have noticed that. The moment you stepped in, I did feel something about you. That would explain that. Well, do you believe that she would be a good fit? You appear to have some sort of similar connection to the divine as many clerics who have devoted their lives to have, and you seem rather young, so...
I think that she's very hardworking and she dedicates herself.
Well, I must admit that I hope you do realize that I cannot exactly accommodate you for much. The best I can do is give you a place to sleep at and supply you with food, but this is not a life of luxury. No, absolutely, I understand that, and I would never ask for anything like that. I do not need more than the base necessities. It's really just, I want to, work in church. I've never seen that sort of enthusiasm in a while. I believe we could sort something out if you really are interested. Oh, really? That's... Yes, please. That'd be great. Very well. In that case, how about we, if you would like, tomorrow we could perhaps get something started. We could discuss it more in detail, what your duties here could be. Very well. Is there anything else? I see you have some children with you as well.
Yes.
That one seems quite excited about religious knowledge. And Anna picks up. Yes. Who's that? Oh, that, my child, is the Morning Lord. And that? Ah, yes, that is Mother Night. It is... Yes. As you can clearly tell by her features, the Morning Lord, of course, is surrounded by a sun in his back, while Mother Night is surrounded by stars, as you can tell. Anything else you would like to do at the church? Anything else you would like to talk about?
No, I think that's that.
All right. What are you going to do? Since you're done now.
Well, I suppose get back to the cart and go to the Silver Hilt.
Ah, I see you're done then. Well,
Yes.
if at any point you would like to return, I would love to pray with you and know what exactly your divine link is. Perhaps at some point you would come back again and, talk about it.
Yes,
I would
I would very much like to have a conversation with someone as divinely inclined as I.
Very well.
It is not
Perhaps I'll
often I
see you
meet someone like that.
Tomorrow, actually, we do have... No, not tomorrow. Oh, I always get confused at the start of new weeks. Today, in the evening, actually, we hold a small ceremony. If you want to come and join us, a lot of people on the town will be here, so...
I'll see about it.
Very well. Goodbye. And with that, you go. And the moment you're outside, Irene goes like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna be a nun. I'm gonna be a nun."
Yes, and you're going to be on holy ground, which is going to be...
Holy ground?
Yes, the church is holy ground. That means undead can't technically get to you.
Oh,
So that is-
shouldn't we have just then, in that case, gone to a church in Barovia?
That's not the same. Not the same thing. That is not holy ground.
Okay. What defines holy ground? Actually,
The-
the GM would want to chime in because... roll me a religion, D20. Roll me a religion. Because this is a more complex topic, what is holy ground? That is something philosophers argue about all the time. That is a bit of a higgle. Okay, so... yeah. So basically, holy ground... Any idiot can build a temple or a church. It doesn't necessarily make it holy ground or sacred ground. At the same time, of course, there's sacred ground, there's also desecrated ground, which is like unholy ground. There's a whole other thing. Who knows? Castle Ravenloft might even be something like that. But holy ground comes from either by a very powerful priestly figure, a saint, for example, blessing a ground, or it being passively blessed by some action of great selflessness happening there. Some occurrences have even been happening where places have been blessed just by the fact of the presence of holy things there. There's a few stories of angels or even divinity coming down to earth, and the places they often resided in having become holy grounds. So it's not a very strictly defined way of how something can become a holy place, but as a matter of fact, something holy at some point must have happened here. Someone who truly was holy was at some point here.
No.
So yeah, that's also the definition you can echo back.
Yeah. Yep.
This is so great. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or if it's something going to be, I'm not sure exactly I'm gonna do it for the rest of my life, but it certainly sounds interesting. I'm kind of curious how it's gonna go. A bit nervous as well, but to be honest, I'm not that knowledgeable about religion overall. I know a little bit about the Morning Lord, but apparently there's also the Night Mother of the Night.
Yes, Mother Night. I don't know much about the
I know she exists, but people
religions
don't really
of
talk much about it.
Barovia. I haven't studied them very much.
Well, what do you want to do now?
Well, I mean, I suppose we should go to the Silver Hilt to meet up with the others.
Meanwhile, Septimus and Saban, you made it out to the other side, and after a little moment of remapping, and Saban going like, no, I know where we are. Yeah, we should be around.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Basically, I guess by seeing that tower, I'm basically okay. Well, if that's there, yeah.
So they head to the the Silver Hilt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there people around here? Have
Yeah.
they come out, or are they still hiding?
Do you want roll me a perception? Like, there's a baseline you're going to know anyway, but there might be a little bit more information you might be able to get out of this with perception. As you look around, you notice there aren't really many people on the streets anymore. There's sometimes somebody peeking out. It seems like just the mere fact that they moved along here seems to have rattled people a little bit and scared them. But as they realize they're gone again, some people seem to hesitantly come outside again. And you realize that there is... Yeah, you realize that... as they come outside, they once again just smile. And you realize that somehow it just seems a little bit too forced, the smiles.
Septimus is gonna go close to Saban and say, I don't recall people doing this in Sandren. Ever.
But normalcy seems to return in one way or another. It just seems a little bit creepy the way it returns just like that. What would you like to do?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
For God. Septimus's normal face is like this. Am I gonna get arrested?
Well, no, because you have the hood over. Nobody really sees that much.
Okay. But if I didn't have it on?
Well, I don't know. There's one way to find out.
No. No.
You already have been told about how negativity is considered here. So, what do you do, Saban and Septimus?
How many kids have we seen?
Oh, you mean in total since you arrived?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. Hard to tell. It is...
It's very young ones, like below 60 years of age.
Below
Jesus
6 years of
Christ,
age?
man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe... Any... Okay, can you just tell me what you're trying to get at? Maybe I can confirm or deny your suspicions, because this is a really odd question.
If negativity isn't allowed, the age group most prone to crying is kids under 6 years of age.
Okay, no. You have seen, like, some children outside. Like, you have also even heard, like, a baby cry. But, it's not like suddenly the guards rush the woman and go like, no, babies aren't allowed to cry.
Yeah, that's what I was
We're
wondering.
not at that point, no. So yeah, what do you do? Where are you heading? What's the plan?
Heading for the Silver Hilt.
All right.
Keeping an eye out just in case, guards come back, and also keeping an eye out for any familiar faces that might pop up. In Barovia, you never know.
As you do, walk by this section again, is there anything you would like to do?
Hold on.
I look down as we head to the Silver Hilt.
Well, as you do look
Yeah.
down, you see how a bunch of the guards you've seen before are dragging bodies out of the alleyway that they were in previously, and just sort of like put them onto a pile of sorts. As you walk by, you also realize that you feel a piercing glare on you, and you realize that the guy with the red arm is staring you down. He's turned towards you.
Not
Smile
making
and
eye
nod at him and
contact.
continue
Moving.
on towards the Silver
Against the wall of
Hilt.
seeing it.
I
And
don't even look.
yeah, you keep going.
Yeah.
They don't appear to be pursuing you. In fact, you think as
I
Saban...
smiled.
Yeah, in fact, even as you, Saban, you smiled at him, you think that the guy gave you an approving nod as you smiled. And you make it to the Silver Hilt. In fact, you see the bar there. There's some letters up there, and yeah. What do you do? As you try to go towards the door, you do see it saying like opening times are around 1. So you're a bit early. To be honest, 1 is still quite early, but even so, you're early.
Well, Zaban drags out his pipe.
I mean, as you know, there are some, like, there's some tables outside the thing, and you also see, like, there's an old man sort of sitting in front. Actually, he's just sort of throwing breadcrumbs in front of him, and there's a bunch of birds, ravens actually, eating those crumbs. So, you know, you can.
Zaban's gonna let the old man feed the crows in peace.
Yeah.
Ravens. He's
Are there
gonna
any-
take a seat.
No, none of them are blue.
Yeah.
I would immediately tell you if that was the case. Do not worry.
Yeah. So Zaban's gonna start preparing the pipe and take a seat.
All right, Septimus, what do you do?
Well, initially, I tried to brush off this feeling of unease as soon as I see all these ravens gather together. And
It's easier if you don't look into that direction.
yeah, but you can still hear the scuttering of their wings and the way their claws hit the ground when they do the hopping thing, and there's the cawing also. But I'm gonna try to. Septimus is gonna try to fight off his discomfort with the events that are currently unfolding right next to him, and he's gonna try to strike up a conversation with the old man.
Oh, so you're going to sit next to him near the
Not
ravens?
next to him, not next to him. I'm not. No, I'm gonna sit next to Saban and call over to him.
Okay, long distance conversation then.
How long?
Well, I mean,
Isn't
it's still a bit
in front
weird
of the
because
bar?
there's like about 2 meters or so in between you. So it's like, you know, you're not even really facing each other. So it's like, hey, it's like, huh?
That's not a normal thing.
I don't know. Okay,
It is.
you go on ahead. Then.
I'm a Finn. That
I'm
sounds
Greek.
like
That's
the
very
most
normal.
normal conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, sorry, I don't know, in Luxembourg maybe that'd be a thing, but if you're just sitting somewhere minding your own business and suddenly somebody from 2 meters away starts talking with you, somebody you've never met before, that is considered oddly weird. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, depending on circumstances, that may. But the distance shouldn't be the weird part.
Well, I mean, it's especially because if it's someone you've never known, like, you'd be more inclined to talk with them if they're, at least approaching you. Then again, with Corona times, anyway.
Absolutely not. I would be much more comfortable speaking with a stranger if they kept a respectable distance from me.
Okay, well, go on.
Yeah,
What are you going to
especially
say?
for chit-chat.
Septimus is going to kind of be facing the old man, but not really. Like 3/4 of his body are like. No. But he is going to turn his face to the old man and be like, "Good morning, sir."
Good morning. Nice
Those are
day.
a lot of birds. Yeah, those are a lot of birds.
Yep, do like birds. Always come around here. They do say that ravens specifically, they're like servants of the mother night. You know, you don't want to be in bad standing with her. Every day, I come here, feed the birds. Before the bar opens. Those hunters sometimes tell me like, oh no, I'm risking things. What if any of those birds are rare ravens? Silly. Why would a rare raven come here and eat some bread off the floor?
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense. They seem very docile.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that for 5 years now. Not sure it's always the same ones, but few of them I do recognize sometimes.
Can you tell by their plumage?
Oh yeah, some of them I can tell. Not all of them. They do look familiar, but some of them you learn to recognize.
Do they come in the same, shades of black, or others as well?
Well, that's a bit more difficult. I mean, if you're really perceptive, you might notice some different shades of black, but to be honest, for me, it's more of a, pattern stuff. I guess my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
Have you ever seen a blue raven?
this is the first time where the man actually looks over to you. And then continues throwing. Blue raven, you say? Yeah, I've seen that one around here. You also like birds?
I have a respect for them, a reverence, if you will.
That's so. Well, I mean, the bluebird specifically is a rather rare bird. Only people that really do pay attention to birds, bird lovers, seen that one before. You like birds?
I do, yes. And I was just wondering, is there one bluebird or are there many?
It's hard to tell. Definitely hard to tell, especially considering how rare they are. Might be one, might be many. It's hard to tell.
How normal would you say would it be to see a blue raven several times within the same week?
Well, I'd say that raven has taken a liking to you. Or maybe you've been taking a liking to it and followed it around. Or maybe both. He throws the rest of the crumbs that he has in his hands in front of him. Well, I almost forgot. I still have to do some of the laundry today. He actually buckles himself up and stands up. Walks over to you. Some of the birds fly away. Anyway, if you do like birds as much as you do say you are, there's actually a tavern, not that far from here. I'm sure you'll find it at some point. It's called the Grey Raven Inn. Why don't you go there and, buy yourself something? Here's a coin. He sort of chugs a gold coin to you. See you around.
Thank you, sir.
Walks off. The ravens are still on the ground picking up the leftovers of, the bread's been thrown against, but some of them start flying away as there's less and less. Now that band's gone.
Yeah, sometimes it's just gonna be breathing hard for a moment and staring at the coin. Is the coin special in any way? Like, is there anything arcane about it, or is there some characteristic that makes it unique? Is it special in any kind of way, or is it?
You're trying to see if there's anything like engraved on it or something like that. Like if there's anything odd about it. Roll perception.
Anything odd?
I can already see Dispers is going, oh my god, why do we keep going with this subplot? This is so nonsensical.
It's not nonsensical. It makes very much sense.
That's why you're right.
Yeah.
Don't pay attention to him.
Have you rolled perception yet?
Yes, 20.
Oh dear.
Unnatural, but...
Okay, bloody hell.
Natural 20 would have been more loud.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah, sorry. I like having fun.
Right, there's you spot something which is on you have to look quite carefully, but you spot that on the rim of the coin the words Gilencia engraved.
Saban.
Yeah.
Come here. Come
I'm
closer.
next to you.
Get closer.
Yeah, well, Zaban turns around. Yeah.
Is that your name on this thing? Over here. Pay attention.
So
He's pointing
Valencia.
exactly where the name is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Did you know that, man?
Don't think so. Saban tries to think like, did I?
Roll me a perception. Is that the best roll? Yeah, I think perception.
Or history?
I mean, history if it is like a person from a history book, but... Or would intelligence be more appropriate? Okay, roll either perception or history, whichever you prefer.
Well, I have bigger perception, but...
Meanwhile, I'm thinking, what did I forget? Right, yes, no, I was looking up something. Right, interestingly, you... No, you have not seen this man before. It does not ring a bell.
Don't think so. So I look at the coin. Is it the Barovian coin or?
It is okay. So it is a normal. Hang on, is it?
Does it have a picture of Strahd on it?
Yeah, let me just check real quick. What did he give you? He gave you the thing, right? Okay. It is okay. So it is. It looks like a normal Barovian coin from the base, but then of course there is the deviation that it does say Gilencia on it.
This man told me to go to the Grey Raven Inn.
Yeah, I heard with
I have
Mother.
to go.
And I think I need to follow.
Where did you say it was? A bit further down?
Yeah, the Grey Raven Inn. I can lead the way if we go there. If I understood his directions correctly.
Okay.
Whose directions? Sorry, what's going on?
The old man's.
The old man didn't give you any directions.
Didn't he say go a bit further down?
No, he didn't. He said you'll find it if you look for it.
Okay. Tomorrow night.
I
mean, there's still 5 hours until Vasilia gets back.
Yeah, exactly.
10 to 20 minutes before that thing opens.
Oddly enough, you were quite specific. Not only that, but you were also right.
Very well. We wait until Rika shows up with Irene.
Doesn't take too long. After 5 minutes, most of the ravens have dispersed, and you see Symphony II trotting along the way, with Rika riding towards you. Rika!
Yes.
As you ride down the way, you spot Saban and Septimus sort of, sitting outside on the 2 stools near a sort of table, sort of just, waiting. It appears the bar is still closed.
Well, I'm gonna go to the bar.
As you draw closer, Irene is already peeking out of the cart. Guess guess who's going to be a nun?
Give me a hint.
Well, she has 2 thumbs and has arrived today here in Vallaki.
Oh, Anna, good job.
I'm gonna be a nun.
No, you're not.
So, what have you been doing meanwhile?
Waiting for that thing to open.
Oh, right.
Points to the door.
The church is really beautiful, by the way. And they had all these great little pictures on the windows. It was really beautiful, and they were so colorful.
That's nice.
It was really well maintained. Like, it is, I mean, it's no comparison to the one we had in Barovia.
Hey, Rika, do you want... There's still a couple puffs left. Do you want?
Sure. She takes the pipe.
Yes, she gets close. Saban kind of points with his fingers for her to get a bit closer. Some of the guards here have demonic taint on them. And I pass the pipe over.
That's interesting. You have any description of it?
Big, veiny, and red. I'm talking of an arm.
That certainly sounds devilish. If it's red.
Not only that, it's very classical.
Yeah. And some good claws in the end of it for good measure.
That does sound kind of like... wouldn't put it past Asmodeus. Though it could be any Lord of Hell who has had an influence.
Speak of the devil, by the way.
Speak of the devil.
Smile.
As you are talking about that, you see a couple of guards moving down the street, not heeding you any mind. It's less than you saw before. It's actually pretty much exactly the half. It's like two guards walking this way alone, and they're actually turning your way and sort of moving past you.
Saban again smiles and nods at them as they pass.
None of them seem to react. At best, one of them sort of looks vaguely in your direction before moving on. They seem a lot less, they seem a lot less stiff than you saw them before. So definitely the fact that, demon arm guy is no longer present has had some effect here.
Yeah.
Demon arm guy must have some kind of rank within.
Did seem to be leading a squad of 4. I say this once they have passed us.
That's interesting.
I believe they also apprehended a few.
It's one word. Pretty sure the only place for what they were dragging was the dumpster.
Well, at least they were effective.
At this point, as you're getting closer to opening time, you actually see two guys also sort of mingling about, also taking a seat nearby.
Does the guy usually open on time or late?
It's a bit of an older fellow, so it's kind of completely, sometimes this, sometimes that. But if it takes too long, sometimes we just, there's a trick with the door, actually. If you pull it up a little bit and give it a little bit of a nudge, you can actually just sort of kind of put it out of range. It's not that much damage. You just sort of like put aside the lock. So if it takes too long, we can just go inside anyway.
Isn't that breaking and entering?
He knows us. I mean, if you did it, it would be a little bit weirder, so.
Okay, so it's okay if you do it.
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope if that happens, you're allowed to invite others into it, because I'm getting thirsty.
So who are you lads anyway? Don't think I've seen you before. This is normally a place mostly only regulars go here, because the stuff he serves is quite frankly not that great.
quietly whisper. Damn it, Vasily.
Yeah.
You do realize that was not the first place he wanted to get you to. It was because one person in the party was like, "So, hey, what about the Silver Hill?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, we can go there."
Recommendation.
Well, I don't know exactly who recommended that to you, but that sounds like a lousy friend to me. Unless you are trying to see recommended good company, that is.
I mean,
What does that
that's
mean exactly?
half the fun of drinking, so.
You look to me like someone who's weathered a few storms. Yeah, we're mostly just, we're hunters here mostly, so we kind of like to mingle with our own.
I kind of assumed from the name.
Yeah, you'd imagine.
Yeah, possibly looking into getting those licenses, so could do
Licenses,
it.
yeah.
I could do it for some actual money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, it kind of depends. Things aren't looking as great as they used to be anymore. Right? There used to be some real money you could make in it, but nowadays it's getting harder and harder.
Why is that?
Well, the problem is werewolves are easier to hunt than ravens because ravens can just fly away, and I'll be honest with you, silvered ammunition costs a lot, and once you shoot it, there isn't always a guarantee you can't get it back. So hunting were-ravens is just so much shittier. It costs much, and if you can't secure the kill, you wasted a bunch of money.
Sounds like you should use more traps for them.
Yeah, we've been thinking about
Or
it.
nets.
Boris kept telling us as well. Well, we're gonna have to see about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I also heard stories that some who are more into werewolves might even try and steal other people's kills.
Werewolves are so much easier money. Like, just obviously easier money. Because you only need something you can stab them with, and there you go. Practically, it's a one-time investment, and you can get as many werewolf kills as you're capable of.
Yeah. Though I did hear that there's it's more of a heard from a friend of a friend, but werewolf hunter actually had a werewolf had stolen from him by other hunters.
That's not, no, that's not real. I don't think anyone would do
He
that.
was new in the trade, and there were some older veterans who were helping him around, and was got the head stolen along with his sword and some gold.
Well,
It's good that he made it back.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can only think of one guy who's shady enough that would even consider he might do that. What about you?
Yeah, think
Nah, I agree. Like, he's kind of a dick. Yeah, he's kind of a dick. Kind of shifty fella. He's his name's Xavier, right? He sometimes goes around proclaiming he's a guide, but the weird thing is, like, the people he guides, it's like, you know what I'm trying to get at, right?
They tend to wind
always
up dead.
make it to their destination. And it just happens so frequently that you kind of wonder, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah,
But,
there's a limit to how much danger roads can claim your clientele.
you haven't gotten this from me. I mean, I don't, I don't want to blacken anyone, and to be completely fair, the roads are a bit dangerous, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I was told a name, but I can't remember it anymore. I was a few cups down by that point. So the details kind of evade.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 people though that he was with. So
2 people.
yeah, like there was the small guy, and then the other one was like walking door, basically.
You don't mean Boris? Fireball?
I don't know. Maybe. I was drinking a couple fireballs that night, I guess.
Nah, Nah, he wouldn't. He's a straight-laced guy. I've been working with him. I'm probably going to keep working with him for a while. He's really good at what he does. I can't imagine it. I mean, he looks a little tough and scary sometimes, to some. But, not to me, obviously. Nah, I don't think he would do anything like that. No, I don't think so. Like, he's a werewolf hunter through and through. I don't think he would do anything like that, like steal somebody else's kill. Like, no. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it might have been someone else. Like I said, I don't remember the names. And maybe it was a false story to begin with.
Could be.
If there's too many people in between, you kind of lose the original.
Right. We've been waiting for a while, haven't we? Yeah, exactly. I feel like, you think he's been sleeping in again? I could be, to be honest. The guy, sometimes he himself, like, you know how it is. Actually, I'll show you. Right, so you just grab the grenade, you just, pull it up a little bit to just raise it out of the lock. It should be somewhere around it's there. And you just sort of give it a little of a chip, and, there we go. And the door goes open. And behind it you see, like, a guy in his 50s or so, like, the fuck? You can't just do that! Oh, come on, you've taken your time. Can you not give me 2 minutes to open the door? We're thirsty, old man. Catch us some slack. We're hot working. Listen, I don't want to see that again. Okay? Yeah, right, man. Chill. And they start strolling inside.
Yeah, after a bit, Zaban basically looks to the group and... Well, at least they're somewhat known, our guides.
We might as well go in.
What's a silver hilt? Anna goes.
Well, a hilt is the thing you grab on a sword or knife.
Zaban basically points the hilt of his sword.
And silver is, of course, a metal that it's made of. So it's a silver hilt. It's a hilt made of silver.
Okay, so what do you do?
Go in.
Zaban takes the pipe back from Rika and heads on in.
All right. So you all head in? Okay. What do you do with the children?
Take them in with us.
You take them with you? Okay.
I'm sure the guy has some water.
Or like juice.
For the hangover.
Yeah, as you go in, like, Anna does walk in, just, after the church, like, this place isn't exactly, as luxurious or impressing. The two, Hans and Gretel, they sort of just, walk in normally. The two guys, like, as you take 3 children inside, sort of give you a bit of a weird look. And one of them is like, but none of them actually do say anything. They actually sit down on their own table and start unpacking a map.
Saban obviously jokingly says, "What? They're just halflings."
Like, they sort of look at each other confused. Don't appear to be getting the joke necessarily.
Septimus is going to walk over to the bartender and greet him.
Hey, what can I get you?
For starters, he's going to turn back to Saban and Rika. What will you guys
Hang on a second. Let me get a closer look at you. You ain't here before, have you? I can tell by your voice. I know my regulars.
No,
Yeah, we
sir.
were recommended
We're
this
new.
place by Vasilier.
Well, we weren't necessarily recommended it, but he did say we could go here.
I don't know no Vasilier. I know recommend. Listen, I hope you understand. Like, You know, this is a place for hunters. We have the drinks a bit rougher, you know, a little stronger. So,
That's not
Sounds
going to
good
be a
to me.
problem, sir.
Give me a very stiff drink and then give me an ale.
I can help you with that. Now, hang on a second here. Have you been here before? Because I can't...
No, sir. I have not.
Oh, you. He points at Saban. You look familiar.
Don't think so. I've been to many bars and taverns though, so. Do I look like, remind you of someone very drunk?
Yeah, I was just thinking like... I don't know, I can't catch it up. It's just like... Chris saw us since...
Mr.
Are
Bond
you
does
messing
step
with me? This is
closer.
a prank. No. You've been here before. You must have. No, I remember my faces. You've been here before.
Well, I don't remember being to this tavern or even Valaki before, so.
Well, then you remember wrong. Anyway, right, stiff drink coming up. Looks like not only one person has a doppelganger. You get 3 drinks served. You know, they're both of them cost 5 silver. Both of you.
Alright, so. Both of us?
Yeah.
Zaban is getting the 2 rings for himself.
Oh, okay, sorry. Go on. 1 gold then.
Yeah. I don't know what Septimus's order, but it's also gonna ask, like, you got any water or something for people who don't like alcohol for the halflings back there?
Eh? You can't bring kids in here.
We've only just arrived into town. Don't worry about it. We don't
All
want
right,
to-
listen. I
I'm not
want.
gonna stay here until night.
What?
I'm not gonna stay here until evening or night.
Yeah, I don't want him to stick around here long. As I said, we got some wrong
Yeah.
people coming in here. I don't want to be accused by anyone or the guards that we have like a bad sort of wife to children or whatever. I know. I don't
Yeah,
want
of
to get
course,
in
of
no
course.
trouble with them.
Of course.
Right, I think we'll move some water somewhere. Hang on. Serve some water as well. Thank you. Takes water. Anna.
I'll just have an ale.
Right,
Same
coming
here.
up. He served you all. What do you do? Do you get your own table or you keep on being at the bar? What do you want to do?
Let's go on table, I think.
Yeah, that's
Now
fine.
forever hold your peace. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So what do you do for the next few hours?
I'm not sure we're gonna be here for the whole time, so. Starters, Zaban is gonna be sipping on the ale for a bit and downing the stiffer drink in a couple of gulps.
All right. By the way, for you two as well, if you order drinks, it's 5 silver each. Except the water. Don't worry about that.
Oh.
You talking about anything, or the guy behind the counter is also going to serve, of course, those other 2 fellows, and for the most part, to sort of, you know, just be there, sort his bar out.
When Septimus is done with this,
Though you
What
see
is
him
that?
every once in a while glance back at Saban.
Zaban is too busy enjoying the drink. Like,
Also, the guy seems to very obviously have something wrong with his eyes. Like, he is very obviously something else is going like,
yeah.
Saban, I think you have an admirer.
Well, that's something new.
Septimus is done with his ale, he's going to head on over to the bar, order another ale, and
Can do.
start asking the old man, being a hunter, what's the procedure, how hard it is it to get a license, etc.
I haven't been a hunter in a while. I've been retiring. I have this place here. So I don't really know what the procedure is nowadays. Back in my day when I started, you just sort of were a hunter. There wasn't none of this official nonsense that you had to worry about. You went out, you got the job done, you came back, you had a head or some other sort of proof, you got paid. Simple as that. But nowadays, they want to make everything official forms for every piss you take, every weapon you carry. It's ridiculous. I'm just happy I'm out of that business and have a tavern. If you want to know, details how you're going to get there, I say, ask one of those guys. They're currently hunters. They're going to know more than I do. There's probably some also fresh meat coming in sometime later. Hunters just come in here sometimes, but they're not out on a job, so... About to find some other people here that can tell you the answer to that question.
Very well. All right. Here's 5 more silver for the ale.
Cheers.
And when he gets back to his table, he's going to try to strike up a conversation with the other guys about, what is it like being a hunter?
Right.
How hard it is.
As you approach them, you can see that, they have a map laid out in front of them. And they're actually discussing something. Do you want to listen in, or is this sort of go in and go
How far away is our table from them, actually?
It's they're sort of positioned nearby the door. Meanwhile, you're positioned a bit closer to the bar. It's not a large distance per se. You could definitely try and overhear them if you, at your table, you were quiet. If no one at your table would talk. They're not exactly whispering, by the way, so it's not like they're trying to be secret. You approaching them, or?
I'm sorry, I just got a leg cramp and I want to die.
Oh dear.
Can someone else take the scene? I am going to suffer from...
Saban, Rika. Saban, you're being told by both Irene and Anna. Anna is just a puffball of excitement. She's happy to be here. Despite the fact that apparently, she's been in Valaki before, this was her first time in the church. And she goes on raving about how great it was there and just how beautiful everything was. And
it's great to hear.
Yeah, Irene is also, telling you the details, like what they've been told when they were there. Yeah.
Well, you two seem to have a common interest.
Well, I'm not quite sure if that can be said necessarily, so, But they were really pretty, weren't they? Yes, of course they were. Absolutely. As you carry on, you actually, 2 more people enter the bar, and
Saban tries to get something out of Hansel and Gretel, basically asking them what did they think of the church.
Right, back to those.
How old are you two?
What was the thing I said last?
Hans is 8 and Gretel is 7.
That. So they go methodically 7, 8.
Well, you ever sneaked something off your guardians?
Oh.
How about you, Anna?
They are so out of place around these parts, by the way.
Yeah. How about you, Anna?
Huh? What? Oh, well, she seems to be like struggling, like she's a child, like she is very obviously in a situation where like she feels caught out but isn't exactly bringing it up. Like she wants to say no, but at the same time she doesn't want to lie.
That's reasonable. You ever tried to steal these adult drinks? Bond says, holding the mug out.
No. I actually I once. I mean, no. I once tasted ale. It doesn't taste good. It's very bitter.
Especially this one. But you, Gretel, Hans?
No.
Wanna try a bit? Take a sip. Is the ale as bad as the other patrons warned us about?
No, it's not. Well, I mean, it's relative. Let's say it like this: you've had worse. You've had way worse. It feels to you like they've just sort of like friendly shitting on the guy.
All right. Yeah. Well, I give the mug first to Hans. Tell him to take a sip.
He does. Let's see if there's literally no reaction in his face to be seen. Like you're basically stress testing this. There's nothing happening with this child.
One day they're gonna be afraid of you at the drinking game. How about you, Gretel? Hands the mug over to her.
Yeah, like Gretel basically does the same, and you see, like, just for a moment, like a sort of like going like as it is rather bitter, but there isn't exactly as large of a reaction either, like as you would expect from a child.
Well, maybe you two can be the champions of that.
Let's head back to the person that no longer has a cramp, hopefully. Walking around the room helps. Movement. Anyway, as you're trying to listen in, it's not all that hard. Are you trying to subtly listen in, or how are you trying to do this?
Very subtly. I'm basically doing this.
Roll me a stealth, just to see how much you can sort of blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Septum's basically ignoring the bond. Giving the two 8-year-olds.
Yeah, honestly, under other circumstances, I would have a lot of things to say, but at the moment...
You sort of just sit down somewhere behind them where you're out of their vision range and sort of sit quietly while it's sitting on a table. As I said, like, more people are coming in, so more chatting actually starts filling the room. I say more people, it's still quite early, so like you have like 3 tables that are currently occupied out of 6. You listen in. It appears that they're talking about recent Were-Raven activity as they are looking at the map. They also seem to be talking about how they could basically approach the situation. They're talking about how many do you think there are? It's hard to say. We know for certain that there's at least one around, but it's hard to say. We haven't seen multiple at a time. Well, it could be there's multiple there. Yeah, that's why we need to be careful there. It could be, for all we know, it could be a whole pack. That would be when the situation really gets dangerous. We need to be careful if we do go there that we aren't going to get ambushed, because it's a real possibility. Can't help but notice. It's really close to the Wizards of the Wilds. Yeah, it is. I'm kind of worried that they might have attacked nearby. It would certainly explain why we haven't, why the Silver Hilt hasn't received any wine shipments in a while. Maybe they're doing badly. Maybe they killed him there. I don't know what's going on, but it certainly adds up in a certain way. Yeah, it does. They keep talking something along those lines, and eventually there isn't much more interesting information to be gained. There's sort of just theorizing about what could possibly be going on there, and talking about different strategies about how they can do this, different people they could maybe recruit. Names come up that they haven't heard before. Also, Boris comes up. They also at some point mentioned Xavier, and I'm like, no, not that guy. Is there anything you would like to do?
Yes. At some point, when they seem to be having a quiet moment while Septimus is drinking, he's gonna say, we're Raven Hunters. I was almost led to believe that those were extinct. I'm sorry, I just overheard you guys talking about...
No problem. Just don't you steal our target.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we're ravens. That's kind of what we've come to. There aren't a lot of wolves around anymore, so it's either ravens or finding a new job.
From what I'm hearing, werewolves are almost being hunted to extinction.
Yeah, it's a good thing, I guess, but not so good for the business. But yeah, I mean, as I mentioned before, hunting ravens, it's a costly thing, so yeah, we can't exactly, there's a lot of subtleties to it. We have to plan it out a bit more carefully.
Are there a lot around?
Around?
Is blocking a problem?
Not necessarily around Velaki. There used to be, like a few years ago, but situations have gotten much better since then. There's still some sightings here and there, but those are either to the forests or the mountains. Very rarely is it to the roads or anything. Don't exactly know. I've heard some stuff's going down at Kresk, but to be honest, I don't really care much for them. They are a little... what's the word I'm looking for? They're a little... dickheads? I guess, yeah. I want to say it a little bit more politely. Yeah, dickheads. They're dickheads. They can take care of their own problems. But yeah. Sorry, what did you want?
I was wondering, you guys are presumably hunters.
Yeah, we are.
I'm just wondering, I would like to have a hunting license. How exactly do you go about doing this?
Well, you basically just go to the guard's house, and essentially you ask them there for the right stuff. They'll ask you for some sort of basic information and stuff, and at that point they'll put you through some basic sort of stuff to see if you actually are at all sort of capable for combat. It's not really tough stuff. You should be able, if you're at all competent, you should be able to do it. And if you're not, you probably wouldn't be fit for werewolf hunting anyway, or even were ravens, or even were rats. Were rats. Sorry, little hunting humor there. But yeah, just go to your guard's house, ask them there for more information. They might set something up for you, and you can give it a shot with the next batch of wannabe hunters.
Is that going to be taking a very long time?
I don't know. I think they do it once a week or something like that.
And when will you guys be leaving to look for those were-ravens?
When we got our bearings and a good plan. First of all, we need to get the resources together. Enough ammunition, silvered. We might do a retcon mission first. It's hard to say. Why? You interested in joining us?
Quite frankly, I have no love for were-ravens, so if you're willing to have me after license, I would love to show up.
Can't promise nothing, but we can see. If not, there's always next time. Don't think those flying pests are gonna go extinct anytime soon. And if they do, thank God.
Just a question. Are you guys going after just random were-ravens?
Not necessarily. Right now we're looking at Rare Raven activity down at... I'm gonna put you back at the actual map, the big map, so you actually have an idea of where things are. Down at the Wizards of the Vines. Apparently somewhere near the forests, near the roads, there's been some sightings there. And we haven't really heard back of, well, the Wizards of the Wines yet. There hasn't been any shipments of wines lately, and it's getting a bit worrisome. The other thing is that it hasn't exactly been signed to a normal were-raven. However, in this area in general, there's been some sightings of an unusually large were-raven. Or how we call them, alpha ravens. Or alpha were-ravens. Let's keep it at alpha ravens. It's shorter, it's much nicer to say. It rolls a bit off the tongue. Yeah, alpha ravens. Basically, we saw some alpha raven down there. An alpha raven, well, any alpha creature of werewolves, they aren't normally alone.
So they don't have a posse, so to speak, of them. A posse following them, a group.
Oh, no, not necessarily. We had some people that were traveling down there to check up on the Wizards of the Wines after, there's not been any deliveries recently. And, yeah, they've been seeing some shit, but the moment they did, they've been basically putting the tail between their legs and ran off. Which, if you're a civilian not suited for that sort of thing, that's sort of what you're supposed to do. Get the professionals to look at it. But if what we're suspecting is true, this might be pretty damn dangerous.
Understandable. By the way, I wanted to ask. I heard some rumors in another tavern. Maybe you can tell me if this is true or if it's just, drunkards trying to make up crazy stories, hoping to get free drinks out of. Is it true that there's an actual lord? This is going to be said in a bit more hushed tone. An actual lord.
Are you talking about the guy in the castle? Because if so...
Not that guy.
What are you talking about?
Like, supposedly, I heard a story that there's nobility amongst the were-ravens. Is that true,
amongst the were-ravens?
Yeah.
Well, I remember a few years back, that was a story that was... actually, you should talk to the barkeeper about that. He might know more about that. But apparently, from what I've heard, that's something that, happened rather a good time ago. Nobody really knows what happened to that, or even if it ever was real. But it's certainly not anything I've heard about recently anymore.
Alrighty.
Talk to the old fella behind the bar. He might have some stories to share about back in the day about that.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you, gents. My name is Remus. Hopefully we're going to get to work together.
As you say that, the door opens and you see a familiar face entering the bar. Boris Fireball.
Ooh.
Saban, you also noticed that, by the way. Rika, so do you. Is there something you would like to do immediately, or... Alright. Boris, he does not appear to immediately notice your presence. He just keeps going to the bar and just... he actually just chats with the barkeep and orders himself a beer, and then he seems to be walking towards the table you're currently occupying, Septimus, with the two other guys. While he's ordering a drink, actually, maybe, what do you want to do?
While he's ordering a drink, Septimus is going to say, well, gents, it's been a pleasure talking to you. My name is Remus, and hopefully we're going to get to work together soon.
Well, maybe. First of all, pass the test, Greeniers.
I'll do my best.
Best of luck. It's not really that hard.
You do have a good evening. And then he's kind of gonna spin around, like, not like this to go to his table, but like that and go to his table so that his back is to Boris.
All right. What about Saban and Rika? Irene is certainly leaning forward. Guys. That's...
I think Zuban is gonna continue drinking his beer.
All right. Rika?
I'm sorry, I've just had a serious coughing fit because I
Oh, I'm sorry.
choked on some of my own spit.
Terribly sorry. Take all the time you need to recover. I was just thinking if Rika the Hasty would like to throw a fireball or something.